Hey everyone, it's Daniel with VintageMagic.com. Hope you guys are doing well. I want to make a video today about a subject where there was a comment in one of the videos that was very interesting and it actually brought up to my attention. So I figured I'd just do a video on it. So one of the comments that were made was, Dan, could you make a video on discussing what if like something happened in the political spectrum of life, if the world exploded or maybe like something happened, between countries going to war, something more realistic, I guess, could be something like that, like a world war or something. What would happen to Magic the Gathering? What would happen to cards and gaming in general? So, all right, so this is a very, I was thinking about this in the car the other day and thinking about kind of how would I go about this. And I think the way I'm going to approach this topic is kind of like this, is that, from an economic standpoint, when there is a war of any kind, generally the stock market reacts in a very, usually a negative fashion in some ways. Main reason why it reacts negatively is because there's a lot of uncertainty. Markets, equity markets do not like uncertainty. And it's very, common that markets go down. So in the case of like 9/11, 2001, when the Twin Towers got hit, I believe the stock market dropped, quite a bit of points. And then there was a downturn, basically led to a small recession. So it's events like that cause a lot of uncertainty. Where is the United States going to be in the, in the world sphere of the war itself? How much money are they going to be investing in? How many people are going to obviously lose their lives in terms of all this? There's a lot of unknowns. So you got to be very careful when it comes to equities. But in terms of Magic the Gathering, actually, this is kind of a very interesting thing I would say about it, is that Magic the Gathering is a global marketplace. So first thing is that just because something that happens in the United States or affects a few countries does not mean that the game itself goes down in value or tanks dramatically. Another thing is that Magic the Gathering is a collectible. It's not a traded equity like a stock or a mutual fund. So there isn't, it's kind of that luxury feel-good thing. And so I think you guys can all relate to this, that in times of like peril and times of recession, even like in the 2008 recession that occurred for the United States, if you notice, people didn't really sell their Magic the Gathering cards, and just there wasn't this huge downturn of it. In fact, Wizards still posted growth within the company. And the main reason why is because Magic is one of those things where people have that feel-good type of thing. It's kind of like your entertainment expense. People still go to the movies. People still drink alcohol. I believe alcohol had gone up, a tremendous amount during the recession times. So in the case of war, in my opinion, I think that Magic would actually sustain just fine. Would I think it would go up? I don't know if it technically would go up, but I don't think it would go down anything really much different. I think the thing that could really impact Magic the Gathering in terms of world events would have to be in the effect of like a huge natural disaster. So I kind of said that in the very beginning, like let's say if the world was going to end. Magic the Gathering is not a life need. It might be to you guys. Some of you guys are really diehard gamers, but in the scheme of it all, you really need water, food, and shelter. Those are the three things you need. So if theoretically the world was going to end and there was going to be so much chaos and all over the world, the value of Magic the Gathering would probably be worthless, because people would sell their assets. They buy everything possible to buy food, water, and shelter to basically, and also any kind of like protection from this natural disaster or world disaster that will occur. So in the case of natural disaster or like a world disease or something that you couldn't control, right? I would say that that would be like the only case where Magic the Gathering would technically go down in value on a sharp, sharp, sharp decline. But in the like, think of it this way: like Magic the Gathering is actually a historical item, and this is kind of something that I thought about that kind of would lead into this point. Is that Magic the Gathering has become our pop culture. I've been saying this to people before, but I'll share with you guys that I feel, not only as an investor, but just as a collector and, just a community member, that Magic has become a pop culture phenomenon. It's kind of like gaming is cool in our culture. I remember back in the 90s when, the Magic the Gathering players wore these long black coats. They were kind of the geeky guys with long hair, kind of, had some body odor. But Magic Gathering is cool. I mean, you got NFL players. I believe like Cassius Marsh from the Seahawks has played Magic. And Doug Baldwin, he's a wide receiver, played Magic at Card Kingdom recently at a charity event. I mean, Magic the Gathering is a cool game. And it's really, gaming itself is accepted. So, this generation and, really loves gaming. I believe there's like esports out there where people do it as like a living and they do it as their career and build, huge fame out of it. Hundreds of millions of people out there. So gaming as a whole has been accepted by society as a way of not only to entertain yourself, but also it's kind of like, hey, it's a part of our culture. It's a part of our pop culture. If you look at like the history of all this pop culture, it used to be like, like icons like Marilyn Monroe. You had baseball as kind of, the sports culture. You had a lot of the entertainment stuff back in the day, the older movies and such that started it all. Early Star Wars and stuff were pop culture. So Magic the Gathering is now becoming or is that. A few years ago, they announced that Magic Gathering is going to have a Magic Gathering movie. So I believe they're still in the process of doing that. So think about that. Think about that from not only just, you playing your game at your local LGS, but think about it from the larger scale of the whole spectrum of Magic. Magic has become something where people could, hopefully like embrace the characters of Magic and from like a very, like an epic quest standpoint. That'd be shown on a movie. And I think that'd be great. I think it'd be amazing if they would, put some little like, shots or action shots or scenes or release some of the information about that. But obviously I'm not in that position, but I hope that they will. I think it's a very exciting thing. But think about that. I mean, pop culture today is gaming. I mean, it is cool to game. Final Fantasy was part of the culture, Civilization, Magic the Gathering. It is cool to be a gamer. And look at us, we're always on our phone. We're always gaming on our phone. We're bored out of our mind, whatever. We want to do something with games. And I think it's really a testament to where Magic has gone. It really is that collectible card game that started the whole thing. So back to the whole like question about if there was like a huge disaster. In the dawn of time, like the entire sequence of history, if you think about like World War II and all the events that occurred of the Germans burning, relics, art and books and stuff. Think about this. I really feel like if there was a huge world war, and let's say Magic, historical Magic items were, shot down by nuclear bombs or crazy things or whatever. I mean, I think the value of the collectibles would actually go up much more. Let's say there was like a world, I don't know, like North Korea went ballistic and they just shot a huge missile and killed a bunch of people, or we're, tons of people that had, large populations died. And within those had large Magic the Gathering collections. I think it would only make them worth more longer term because of the fact that Magic is a historical item. And it's kind of like one of those things where, once you reduce the population of those historical items, they just become even more valuable. So I think that's one thing, this is all obviously theoretical, but it was a very interesting, topic to talk about. I think I brought up like Magic is a luxury. Magic is a luxury that people really love, and they find it as, not only a form of entertainment, but they find it as like a culture, like the way of life in some way. A lot of people that I know, they grew up playing Magic quite a bit. They always waited that Friday or whenever they could go to the game shop and play. And even as adults, people say, hey, they call their friends and, hey, do you want to hit a game up? We play tests. I think there's groups on Skype. I'm part of the old school Magic group on Skype where I play test and play tournaments on Skype because I don't have time to always go to a local tournament and stuff like that. But that's what I'm saying, is that Magic is just everywhere. It's everywhere, and wherever we go, it's all over the place. It's really a way of life. I mean, think about it. Think about it this way. Think about your life without Magic. How would that be? I mean, I just don't even know what I can't even tell you, like there's been so many incredible memories in my life. Like some of the best memories in my life and the people that I've met have came because of Magic the Gathering. I mean, I would have never thought of this back in engineering school. And that would say that I would start a business that I'm making a living, supporting my family off Magic the Gathering. I mean, if you told me that back in the day, I would literally be like, no, why would I do that? That's just dumb. That's a stupid idea. I mean, it's just cardboard. What's the point? So the whole thing is just become a great blessing to all of us. Think about all those people you've met in your life, and you've had those memories where you would I know people that drive to Grand Prix packed in a car, cram it all in a hotel, and just grind it out and play those tournaments. But hey, it's well worth it, and they will do it over and over and over again. I mean, that is the memories that you bring from playing Magic the Gathering. Like the artwork. I mean, I've met so many great artists, so many great collectors over the years, and I have great friends in the art community who love the passion, just the art, the artist proofs, the altar cards, the rarities of Magic the Gathering. And it's great. I mean, it is an amazing community. It's blown up to something that you would never, ever believe in. So, I mean, this question is great. It's a great question, like, what would happen if like a world war occurred and all that kind of stuff? But it always leads me down to the path of this, is that without Magic the Gathering, none of us in this community would have anything to do on a Friday night. Really, I mean, honestly, what would I be doing? What would I be doing? Today is Friday. I'm going to do nothing but play Magic the Gathering with my son, or talk to him about Magic the Gathering. Yes, I have other interests, sports, other collectibles, traveling, food. But look, Magic the Gathering is a big part of my life. And even if the world blew up or whatever, I mean, I'm going to tell you, if aliens came if they came from Mars and they came and took all our stuff, I would be like, you can kill me first, but then you have to take, I get my Magic the Gathering cards with me. I mean, my artwork, I love. I mean, you can't take my artwork away, aliens. That's the way it's going to go. I just don't understand. I mean, this question is like, I just don't understand. Like, I couldn't see my life without Magic the Gathering in my life. Last and final point. This, I'm kind of dragging this out, but I just want to make one final point about this. Is that if you really appreciate Magic the Gathering and you love Magic the Gathering, okay? One of the things I found that really is cool is to give back. And one way you can always give back is to buy from your local game store, but also buy from the game stores that show you great customer service. I am not saying go to the game store that treats you like crap. I'm saying go to the game store that actually shows you professionalism, gives you great service, and has a great group of friends. And yes, I'm going to do a video on bowling. I'm going to do a video on people within Magic the Gathering. I'm going to say right off the bat, if you meet people that do not treat you with respect, you have every right not to play with them, not to even, obviously not make friends with them. You're going to meet people in Magic the Gathering and game stores or whatever, where you're not a Grand Prix, where you're not going to get along with. But you are going to be that better community member. You're going to be a professional, nice, honest person, and you're going to have a great time. And I'm gonna tell you right off the bat is that's one of the biggest things you can do is go to a local game store that you can find, a great connection with and the people. I think that's one of the hardest things is finding a place, that you really love. I really actually enjoy locally around this area is Card Kingdom and Cafe Mox. They do it really well. They have a restaurant, they have lots of kids games, they got Magic Gathering stuff. But I'm telling you, man, they have a really professional staff and it's a very high quality facility. I mean, you go to the bathrooms and they're clean. I mean, that's what matters. Local game stores that you can really relate to and expect great service. I think that's great. I think so Card Kingdom, I'm telling you, Damon, those guys, great people. And I've known those guys for a very long time. So thanks again, guys, for watching. Leave your comments below. Give me another scenario. Honestly, I want to hear more about these crazy things, but I'm going to lead it to more of a real life picture. I think that's the way to do it. Have a great Friday, guys. See ya.